Hey y'all, it's Lindsay. I wanted to share a what I eat in a day video with you, but because I failed to actually talk to the camera much yesterday, it's gonna be a what I eat in 2 days video. If you are new here, I am Lindsay. That's me. Hello. I share a lot of what I eat in a day videos, a few grocery hauls every now and again, a few chatty videos every now and again. I like to go live and just kind of talk about whatever is on my mind. And it's generally speaking revolving around the topic of a low carb, high fat lifestyle and just sort of my personal experience. Nothing I ever share is prescriptive. It's 100% descriptive of my personal quest for health and just kind of what I am doing just to show the practicality of this way of eating, this lifestyle. And I like to eat in a way that supports a ketogenic metabolic state for my body. I do occasionally test. I do have blood ketone monitor, a glucose meter, and I have the urine strips as well. I cannot find my actual blood meters right now, so that's a little bit irritating. I have been testing my ketones that are wasted with the urine strips, and I do this a lot, so forgive me for my hand motions. I have been wasting between 1.0 and 1.5 on the scales for keto urine strips, which means that if I'm wasting them, my body is somehow using them at some point as well. But it is, my body is not so efficient that I am not even getting a ketone reading on those urine strips, so there is that. Okay, so yesterday I failed to talk to the camera very much. Therefore, I thought I would go ahead and do 2 days of what I'm eating on a ketogenic friendly way of eating. Eating too many times. I said that too many times in too quick a succession. Forgive me. So yesterday, let's talk about yesterday. I had a couple of cups of black coffee in the morning like I always do. I failed to record that because I didn't think about recording it until I was in the midst of making breakfast. I made a bunch of breakfast burritos for my husband. He follows a low carb way of eating rather than a full on ketogenic metabolic state way of eating, and it seems to be serving his body well. So I made him some breakfast burritos with the, the Santa Fe Tortilla Company low carb wraps and tortillas that they have that we get at Sam's Club. So I made him several of those to stick in the fridge for a quick breakfast, and I reserved some of the egg and sausage mixture for myself. It was probably about 2, maybe 3 eggs worth of scrambled eggs with about 1 to 2 ounces of ground sausage that I had browned up. I had only browned up 8 total ounces of sausage, so that's kind of how I'm making those estimates. And then I also topped it off with some Cholula. I didn't use any of my homemade mayonnaise because I was trying to reserve that for later in the day. I knew I wasn't going to have time to actively make more mayonnaise, so I was trying to ration my mayonnaise, which that's never a fun place to be for me. I like to have numerous bottles of my homemade mayonnaise in my refrigerator at all times, so it was a little bit of a moment of sadness for me. But the eggs and sausage were delicious. Cholula makes everything taste amazing. I love spicy food, so that was good. And then we had to go to swim lessons and run some errands. So I did make myself a cup of coffee to go. It takes a lot more effort for me to remember to put stuff in my coffee nowadays because I am completely sold out to the black coffee. Just pour it from the pot and move on about the business. So I did put unflavored MCT oil powder in it, and I did half a scoop of the Perfect Keto collagen. I can't remember now if I did my salted caramel or if I did, I think I did salted caramel. I'm pretty sure that's the one I grabbed. But that was good. It's still one of those things where I'm trying to get back in the habit of adding things into my coffee, and it's just like I'm doing 1,012 things at one time almost always, which is not good for anybody. But it means that trying to remember to add some fat to my coffee in order to keep, the fat going is just like, oh yeah, I should have done that in retrospect. But that is what it is. I did record my lunch and my dinner, so I thought I would share those things with you now. I am ready for some lunch, so hopefully you saw me make my little creamsicle, like it's a strawberry creamsicle drink here with my Perfect Keto strawberry MCT oil powder and a splash of this coconut milk and the club soda. It is so good, so refreshing. And I left this open-faced so I could show this to you. I have made Neely's Butter Buns 2.0 recipe for some burger buns. I was just playing around with her recipe and I turned that into a toasted bun and added some peanut butter that I've made from some powdered peanut butter flour and lost my train of thought, butter. So it's just the peanut flour, butter, and a smidge of salt. And then I made sort of like some gelled strawberries, frozen strawberries, turned to mush in the microwave. And then I blended it up with about a 1/4 teaspoon of gelatin, and I put some salt in this as well so that it turns into kind of like a jelly. It will thicken up once I pop that in the fridge. But so it is a peanut butter jelly and strawberry creamsicle kind of day for lunch today. For dinner tonight, I have a little cheeseburger salad. So I did about 1 handful, about a cup or so of some spring mix. I have 1 burger patty. It's a 1/4 pounder and it has 1 slice of Colby Jack cheese. And then I did some of my homemade mayonnaise, about a 1/2 tablespoon of that sugar-free ketchup right there, and then some squeeze of yellow mustard. I added about 5 of these hamburger dill chip pickles, and I'm going to have a cherry bubbly if it will focus. There we go. All right, that is dinner tonight. Okay, it is 9 o'clock and we're going to have a warm beverage before bed. I'm having the Perfect Keto Beauty and Sleep Collagen. This is the, what is going on with my camera? Mexican hot chocolate. I'm not exactly sure why they call it Mexican hot chocolate. I have always understood Mexican hot chocolate to be a flavor that has cinnamon with the chocolate, and that is not the case here. So I don't exactly know what the deal is with that, but that's what they call it. And then in order to balance out that protein in there, I do have a scoop of the MCT oil powder in unflavored, so that kind of helps to balance the sweetness that is in the collagen. And then I've got about a cup of the coconut milk in there. I'm using the instant frother here. It's quite cool, and it's not going to get like super whipped, but it heats it and blends it all together beautifully. I kind of like this little gadget. I'm glad I picked it up. So, and then I will be pouring it into my lovely fancy glass mug. Not too much froth, which, you know, that kind of makes it fancy when it has a nice froth on it, but it's gonna be good. Okay, we have more swim today. It's the summertime, so swim is an almost everyday occurrence here. It's been awesome for my youngest. She's 4.5, and she is quite the little swimmer. She's gotten so strong and so much more efficient in the water. I'm not saying that she's like gonna be swimming competition meets or anything like that, but for her, She has just grown leaps and bounds on her skill set. We're super jazzed about that, so it's a good time. I don't know what else we're going to get into today. We might go do a play date with some friends, or we might go do some berry picking with friends. I don't yet know what I'm going to have for breakfast. I'll come back to you when I have food to eat. Breakfast is made. Yay. I have 2 fried eggs. They got a little bit overdone on the yolks, but that doesn't really bother me. I have probably 1.5 tablespoons to 2 tablespoons of my homemade mayonnaise. I did make more. And then I have 4 slices of a thin bacon. So 2 slices is a serving. That is 7 grams of protein. So that's 14-ish grams of protein. Each egg is approximately 6 grams. So we're looking at about 26 grams of protein for breakfast. And I have no clue on the fat. I did fry my eggs in about 1 tablespoon of butter. So I don't know. And I'm going to finish up the rest of that cup of coffee that I was drinking from the front porch. We're gearing up for swim, and I have made myself some coffee to go here. I have black coffee that I added 1/2 scoop of the salted caramel collagen from Perfect Keto, and then 1 full scoop of the unflavored MCT oil powder. We are ready to head out. We made it back home. Ta-da! We went berry picking after swim lessons, so that was exciting and fun. We got to go with some friends, and I'm pretty sure we ate as many raspberries as we picked. Yes. I had a small handful of the red raspberries as we were picking, and the girls consumed many more. We got 2 pints of red raspberries and 2 pints of black raspberries. Those are not, in fact, blackberries. My girls disagree with me mightily on that, but they are, in fact, black raspberries. So we got cleaned up. We looked like we had basically been trying to make raspberry jam while we were in the fields picking all the berries. So we were a little bit messy, and we are hungry for food. So I'm going to make some lunch for us, and when we have that ready to go, I will share it with you. I've cooked myself some lunch. I took 1 chicken thigh, and it was boneless, skinless, but it still had the rest of the fat on it. I cut that into some small pieces, cooked that over there in my cast iron skillet with some avocado oil right there. And once that had cooked through mostly, I added a handful of cabbage. I did weigh the things this time since I was a little bit curious. My chicken thigh was 5 ounces, and my cabbage was about 3.5 ounces. I used a little bit of salt and pepper on the chicken, and then once I pulled everything out of the skillet, I added homemade mayonnaise, a generous, probably 2 tablespoon helping of that, some sriracha for flavor, and some red pepper flakes for heat. I like spicy food. That is going to be delicious. And then to drink, I'm having a serving of the Daily Electrolytes from Perfect Keto. This is the pink lemonade flavor. This is definitely not my favorite. I much prefer the Redmond Relight in mixed berry, but I do have plans to try the black cherry on the Daily Electrolytes from Perfect Keto and see if I like that better. And I also remembered that I needed to cut the volume I consume in half or double the amount of water. So there's that. But I'm going to go and eat this, and I might have a little sweet treat afterward. Lunch was delicious, but I still wanted a little something more. I have a cookie bar here, 2 of them, from Ketogenic Woman. Anita, she made this recipe recently. I will try and remember to link it in the iCards or in the description box below this video. And I definitely had to modify because I did not want it to be high protein, but I liked the fact that she used a whole stick of butter in it, which, you know, I'm all about the butter. Anyway, I don't know that these turned out as well as hers did. I did not use a protein powder like she used in her recipe. I used my ProFlow, which is the protein power flour, and I modified a couple of other things I can't remember off the top of my head. Either way, they did not turn out amazing. They're fine and dandy, but they are very, very sweet. So I'm going to have 2 of these little guys, and I will come back when I have more. It's quiet time for everybody, and I happened to walk past a mirror and saw a bit of an issue. I was got by the Lauren Berry monster. She managed to slime me in a few different places. At first I thought it was just this tiny little spot and I was going to just deal with it, but no, we got hit right here, all up here. So I decided to switch shirts. I'm going to go spot treat this situation, and yeah, I think I might also brew a cup of coffee for my afternoon coffee. All right, I have my cup of coffee. It's just some black coffee hanging out there in my cup. I got a fresh cup because my coffee cup from this morning managed to get into the dishwasher. I'm grateful for my children's help, but sometimes I mistakenly will put my coffee mug next to the dirty dishes, and then I wind up having to get a second mug. It's not a big deal, but it feels like a big deal right now. Okay, we're gonna go sit outside on the porch. I'm gonna read a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back inside and work on a few household chores that need to be done, and I need to figure out what's for dinner. That is a real conundrum at the moment. Dinner is ready. I have made sloppy joes for us for dinner tonight. I do have a recipe video here on my channel showing that. I hopefully will remember to link that in the iCards up above or in the description box of this video. I put mine on one of Indigo Neely's Butter Buns 2.0. That recipe is delightful and it works really nicely. I did toast it in my air fryer just to kind of give it a little bit more structure. And I topped that off with some of my homemade mayonnaise. And then I did about 1 handful of some spring mix and some more mayonnaise to bump up the fat. I'm gonna have this for dinner, and if I need more, I will share that with you. Dinner is done, and for the majority, all cleaned up. The only thing I have left to do is toss all of the towels into the wash and vacuum. Run a quick vacuum through the loop of the main circuit around here. Everybody loves my sloppy joe recipe here, and I have not made it since we moved into this house. We have a fly. We have a fly. Okay, so it's one of those things where it always gets gobbled up well. I don't have to like coerce anyone to actually eat their food. I don't have to mess around with trying to help the children eat the food, and the leftovers are always a win. So all of that said, I am feeling full and satisfied. Having the mayonnaise on the sandwich and on the lettuce was definitely a good call. And I believe I will try to do another Mexican hot chocolate tonight, but I might zhuzh. I might fancy it up a little bit with some heavy whipping cream. I might put some cinnamon in it to make it like a more authentic Mexican hot chocolate. And I might even pop a little bit of cayenne on top just for a little spicy kick. So I am gonna go take care of things, and I'll be back when I have more food. All right, I brewed myself a cup of decaf coffee, and I used 1 full scoop of the Beauty and Sleep collagen in the Mexican hot chocolate, just like last night. But I did add cinnamon, if we could focus. Camera, excuse me, camera. I can't with that. Okay, anyway, ground cinnamon. And I have some cream, just plain old heavy cream, that I frothed up on the cold setting. This might be an issue. Oh good, it fell out. Great. Okay, so some creme on top. Sprinkle of cayenne for some heat. And I think I'm ready to taste test this. It might be a little bit hot. I like it with the cinnamon. I haven't got any cayenne yet. Yes, yes. That little bit of cayenne on top gives you like a punch in the mouth. I'm loving it. Fantastic. Okay. I am going to go put this into a jar because waste not, want not. We're gonna go hang out on the front porch and watch the rest of the sunset, and that's gonna be the end of today's video. Thanks for coming along with me as I shared what I ate the past 2 days in a way that is friendly to a ketogenic metabolic state, and I hope to see you in the next video.